What's up, everyone? My name is Pistol Packin' Oos, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first ever video on this platform, and my first time ever using social media for that. But welcome. And what's a good way to start off this YouTube channel than by telling you the time that I chose pizza over common sense? What the hell does that mean? You're just gonna have to stick around and find out. So, story time. This happened during the summer of my senior year of high school. Before I was a senior, the summer before, and I was part of a college prep program called Trio Upward Bound, which helps students in low income and first generation high school students develop skills and motivations for higher education. That's what I'm reading off the Google Google search. And our counselor, she decided that we should go on a field trip that summer to out of town to go do some whale watching in the town of Seward. So I live in the state of Alaska and I live in Anchorage. And we wanted to go to she wanted us to go do some whale watching and all that. So if anyone was interested in like if anyone was interested in college for anything sea life, related things like marine biology, oceanography, marine science, etc., etc. So we decided to go on a trip, and she also booked us for a tour of the Alaska Sea Life Center, which is an aquarium located in Seward too. So it was like, okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. So we got on a charter bus, and then we headed out of town. And then the drive was pretty decent. It was a 1 hour drive, an hour and a half over there to Seward. And then, we get off the bus, we grab our tickets and all that. And then we get on the ferry. And then, the whale watching, it was pretty good. We didn't see, whales like distinctively, unfortunately, which was pretty sad. But, with whale watching, there's like a small chance you will get to see like a whale bursting out of the sea. But we did see some other cool things like sea otters, eagles, and all that. The tour guide, she was pretty cool. She was talking about all the formations of the rock and everything. And then after the whale watching and all that, and we get off the boat, and then we headed towards the Alaska Sea Life Center. And then we go in there, we learn more about sea life and all that. And then some people they're interested in going to college for sea life related things to get a degree there. And then afterwards, we decided to get lunch, so they ordered us pizza. And then I grabbed my slice from the table, and then we all chilled outside of the Sea Life Center to eat pizza. So I was sitting underneath the tree eating pizza with like a bunch of my friends and other students and all that. We're just laughing, and then just telling each other how our day's been, everything like that. And then I look up, and then I see this guy. He's like walking. He's walking like across the street on the sidewalk, like very suspicious. Like he had his hands in his pocket, hoodie up. He was looking around, and then he kept looking around. And then I didn't think much of it, back then, because people act like that all the time here in Alaska. So like whatever. And then I go back to my conversation with my friends, and then all you hear was like gunshots going off. And I was like, bah, bah, bah. I look up, and then this guy was getting into a gunfight with another dude across the other street. And then in my mind, I was kind of freaking out because I was like, holy shit, like these guys are in a gunfight right now. I was like, I never been into a gunfight before. Like I never witnessed a gunfight. I never been in a gunfight. I witnessed a gunfight. But then at the same time, my big back was talking to me. I was like, damn, I just want to finish this fucking pizza. And then, all the chaperones, they see that, and then they all yelled all of us to get inside the Sea Life Center to duck and cover. So, most of us, we started running. I just walked because I can't run. Well, I can run, but I just didn't want to run. But, like, we got inside, and then I looked, and we were heading inside deeper into the Sea Life Center. That's what the chaperones were saying. They said, get inside, go deeper into the exhibits, stay and duck and cover and all that until the police arrive. And then I was like, okay. And then I was making my way there, but I look in the side of my corner of my eye, and then I see the pizza. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna grab that pizza box. So I was grabbing the pizza box, and then I could see the gunfire was heading like one of the guys like was trying to take cover inside the Sea Life Center. I was like, oh shit. And then the other guy, he was shooting inside. I was like, oh damn. So I grabbed the pizza box, and then I ran inside with the pizza box. And then when we were ducking covering inside, hiding and all that, like the people around me, I wasn't with my friends. We got separated. They're hella looking at me. I was like, dude, why the fuck do you have a pizza box? I looked at him. I was like, dude, if I'm gonna die, I'm just gonna die eating. I'm just saying. And so yeah, that's the story of. Actually, hold on. So afterwards, all cleared. The two guys, they got arrested. I'm surprised nobody got killed, but the situation was in control. And then we went through the back of the Sea Life Center because the police didn't want us going through the crime scene of the shootout. So we went through the back of the Sea Life Center, and then we got on the bus, and then we just headed straight back to town because we were like overdue. We stayed there like too long. We were supposed to be back by then, so we headed back to town. And then it was a pretty like quiet ride. People were like kind of shook up. Me, I fell asleep. I ate too much pizza. You know what I mean? And then like when I got home, and then my mom, she was like, "Oh, how's the trip?" And I was like, "Oh, it's pretty good. Saw some whales. Saw some sea critters at the Sea Life Center. Then there's a shootout and all that." And then she was like, "What?" And I was like, "What the fuck you mean there's a shootout?" I was like, "Oh yeah, there's a shootout over there." And then you know how moms are, they freak out about that stuff. I was like, "Mom, I'm okay, I'm good." And then yeah, that's about it. So that was the time I chose pizza over common sense. Was that dumb? Absolutely. I could have gotten shot. Would I do it again? Maybe. If you like this video, I know this is my first ever video. It's kind of cringy, hella cringy, but like, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because I will most likely be making more YouTube videos, either story times or other stuff if you guys want me to. Who knows, I might be doing some rankings, maybe do some pet peeves and all that, like stuff that annoys the shit out of me or something. It's up to you guys if you guys like this video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Goodbye.